Alright folks, Pliskin by 51mm here, and tonight I figured I'd do a little video on my Vikings tactical sling that I have on my M1A. And I've had this on my M1A for about 2 months now, I'd say, but it's held up real good. And I'm going to do like a first impressions here. Now this isn't a review. It's just my first impressions, like what I think of it so far. And then like a year from now or so, I will do a full review on my Vikings tactical sling. Okay, so initially what prompted me to wanting to get one of these is I was watching a YouTube video with a guy, I forget his name, but he was doing a sling video, and he had one of these slings on his AR-15. And the appeal to it for me was how much longer you could make it, as say opposed to what I used to have on my M1A, which is this old black sling here. And now these are okay, these are alright slings, but this is about as long as you can get one. Very, very limited. I mean, it's alright if you're just going to carry it on your shoulder and whatnot, and you don't have no intentions of, wearing a backpack or, carrying it for a long distance around your body with other stuff on. It's an alright sling, but on my M1A I wanted something different. And this is how much longer you can stretch out the sling on my M1A. Yeah, it's got a lot of room. And you can shorten it or lengthen it because it has these adjusters here. It has 1, 2, this one here is to lengthen and shorten it quickly in order to get it off of you. It's metal, it really doesn't weigh that much. And it has 3 and 4 of these fastener adjustment points that you can play around with and make your sling longer or shorter than you need. In fact, these slings are so good. This one was so good on my M1A that I intend to get one for my AR-15 and my 243. Another thing about it is the other day, well, yeah, it was the other day now, but when I uploaded that Woods Walk video, that was like yesterday I uploaded it, but it was filmed a day or two ago. I forget. But this held up the weight of the M1A superbly. I mean, the M1A is a hefty gun, I'm not going to lie. It is pretty heavy. It isn't so heavy that it would debilitate you, to put it into words like that. I mean, you kind of have to go into it knowing what you're getting into. But it isn't so heavy that like it will prevent you from, running or walking long distances. I've walked all over the woods with this before. But the sling I had for it originally, this one here, would dig into your shoulder. And you really would feel the weight of the M1A with this old sling here. This one, on the other hand, this Vikings tactical sling, this is just my experience. We're all different. But, walking around with this one, it really feels like it takes a lot of that weight out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if these points here kind of help support the rifle and kind of balance out that weight you feel when you do sling it, or what, but it felt like I was just carrying a really heavy 22, like my dad's CZ452 CZ rifle. So that was a big bonus for this sling. I also don't see people, I've read a few, maybe 2 articles, I think, where somebody may have had one of these slings for their M1A. Nobody buys these slings for their M1A. And I found that kind of odd, and for a while there it kind of stumped me, because I was like, well, do I want to, put up the money? I forget how much I paid for this. I'll put it in the, video. But I forgot how much I paid for this. But I was like, I was thinking, it's like, do I really want to put that much money into the Sling and then just have it, not be able to hold up the weight of the M1A? Like it'd be more unbearable than what I had on it already. It really wasn't unbearable, this type Sling here. I just got tired of it, because that's about as long as you can get it. At least in my experience. I know you could probably get it longer, but it's a lot of fiddling and, getting these god-awful screws out of it. Oh my God. If you've never had to experience the displeasure of having to unfasten these screws from a collet in here. Yeah, it's this one right. You see, there's got a little collet back here that holds it in. These things will drive you insane. It about drove me to drinking getting it off my M1A, the old one. But I just wanted something better, something that could be stretched out longer, fully adjustable, and, be comfortable when I carried my M1A. And for me, the Vikings Tactical Sling has done that. And I'm aware that they have the padded model, but I just wanted to see what their standard model would do on an M1A, and from my experience, it's pretty positive. So, right now it holds up pretty darn good, and I give it an A+. It balances the weight of the rifle out pretty well on your back, and I noticed it doesn't dig into your shoulder. It didn't dig into my left shoulder as bad as the old black one did. Now this one, my 243 had one of its own. This is original to it. I'm not sure where the one for the M1A went to. My dad did something with it. Probably put it on one of his rifles. He may have put it on his 30-06, I can't remember. But so far on the M1A, Vikings Tactical Sling holds up pretty darn good. I know I did a demonstration video for this sling on the M1A. This is my first impressions. And my first impressions of it on the M1A, I know these are meant for the AR-15, but my first impressions for this is it's pretty damn good. Holds the weight of the rifle and can be adjusted to just about any length you want it to be, and you can make it shorter or longer however much you want. Takes a bit of experimenting to do, but I've had no problems with it. I think it's a pretty good sling for the money for a rifle like this, and I intend to get another one for my 243 there, and one for my AR-15. But for my AR-15, I'm going to see if they have 3-point slings so I could sling my AR across my chest. I was talking with somebody on my demonstration video the other night, and he wanted to know if you can, sling this on the M1A across your chest, and I don't think you can. The M1A is too heavy for that. The SOCOM models that Springfield makes might be able to do that easy, but with the standard GI stock, and especially on the loaded model here, which has a National Match medium weight barrel, that's way too heavy to be slinging across the chest. Now if I had one that, affixed to the sides here and came up and around, where you could swing it around your body, it would probably work. But I've got it 2-point for long distance hauling and, stuff like that. I haven't had no negative problems with it yet. No negatives. It hasn't messed up on me. I'd say about the only thing that was really annoying was trying to get the length the way I wanted, and that took some experimenting, but I got it down. And that was just more of a minor annoyance than anything. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm out of breath. I have been doing a lot of running today, so I'm kind of tired. Went to 2 gun stores and had to do some running around town, paying bills and stuff, And I've had a big long day. Got to hold another M1A at a local gun store. It was the standard model, and it weighed almost nothing compared to my loaded here. Yeah, so I figured, you know, I may as well go ahead and do a you know, first impressions video on my Vikings tactical sling for the M1A, and I will say that it's a good sling for the M1A. I'm surprised not as many people you know, try this sling out on an M1A. I mean, I'm not saying that people don't. I just haven't seen anybody say that they have, or, you know, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 people just from looking around on the internet, but I haven't seen big discussion boards or, you know, somebody talking in depth about the sling for the M1A M14 rifle, and so that kind of surprised me. But it's a really good sling for it, in my opinion. Well, anyway, that's been my first impressions. My first impressions, it's pretty good sling. My next video, I had a viewer. He complimented my Betsy Ross flag that hangs on my door in the back there. I'll show it here in a minute. He complimented my Betsy Ross flag here from the Revolution. This is the Revolutionary U.S. flag that we fought in the Revolution War with. So I have decided to make a flag collection video. There's another flag, my Confederate battle flag. Just real quick, I think I just saw lightning outside. It's raining outside. Anyway, I've dragged this video on long enough. Flag collection videos next, and then if the weather holds up on its end, I'll be hopefully doing some range videos where I test out PMC. And I've got the AR-15 video I was going to do where I give a, you know, 1 year in video on my DPMS Oracle. So that's coming too. And then I still got the 7.65x53 Mauser video that I haven't been able to get around to here of late. Alright, that's been Pliskin by 51mm. See you guys all in the next video.